past few years, we've had people come out of the woodwork when somebody needs help, no complaint, no argument, help, and you don't hear about it till later, miss the show, miss a lot of things going to happen. So, Juan, he's going to come up, and we have two people we'd like to honor, and Juan's going to do the first, and he can explain this one and why.
Is John Takvorian here? John, come up here.
You're not in trouble.
You're in trouble. I saw you speeding. Thank you for letting us have a couple of minutes, Bill. We'll appreciate it.
You said a minute.
I'm sorry? A minute. This is a very special year for us at the Kentucky Cobra Club. This marks the 10th year of the Kentucky Cobra Club. Also, it marks the 10th year of coming to the London Cobra Show. And what an experience. We have 10 years of wonderful memories. A lot of memories that are memorable. Some of them you don't want to remember. As Bill was talking about, in those 10 years that we've been coming here, almost inevitable every single year that we're coming back from one of our cruises or going to one of our cruises, we always see someone stranded on the side of the road. What you will never see is that person by himself or herself. There's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people coming to their rescue. And I got to tell you, that's what this club, that's what this London Cobra Show is all about. So thank you so much for that. Which brings me to a very important event in our club. And I'm going to bring Brian in here so that we can talk about a special award that we are going to start giving out every year from now on. And it was the idea of Brian Marshall, and I'm going to let Brian tell you about his experience, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the award.
Well, good evening. I wanted to say thank you. It's my second time to come to the London Cobra Show. Last year it cost me $8,000, so I figured the more I come, the less, per year it's going to cost me. Juan and I are now experts in cobras, and here's how we know we're experts. X in mathematics is the unknown quantity, and spurt's a drip under pressure. So expert, you become an unknown drip under pressure, and that's where I was last year. But here's what happened. On the way back from the burnout contest downtown, I blew my motor up on I-70, and about 10 guys pulled over with me. I'm sure you're in the audience, and I'll thank you, but they got on the phone, shoved a drink in my hand. The state police stopped to say, really, he just wanted to look at the cars. He wouldn't, and yeah, exactly. And at any rate, it was really a humbling experience to try to decide, because I had driven the car up from Louisville, and I thought, wow, I'm 400 miles from home. I'm sitting there on the side of the highway with a blown motor. 3 of our 4 cars broke down. Now you really know why we're experts. So we had 1 car left that worked within 48 hours. Anyway, the guys that stopped got on the phone, called a gentleman I'd never met. He'd already had his car loaded to go back home. He unloaded his car off the trailer, came 15 miles to the side of the road, picked me up, put my car on the trailer, took me back home and said, we won't leave until you make arrangements to get your car home. And anyway, I went back home telling this story, and I said, that seems to me to be what this whole Cobra experience is all about. And I thought it was a fitting tribute to Frank, but that's the kind of club experience that makes this all worthwhile, and I think the cars are just the medium to make that happen. So I'll say thank you to all who stopped, and I'm going to let Juan present this little trophy, because we said that to us as a club, it meant a lot to us, and that's why we're back. So thank you.
Well, after $9,000, not $9,000 of fixing his engine, Brian had time to reflect on what had happened to him, and he came to my office and he says, you know, I'd like to do something special for this person that, out of the goodness of his heart, he came over to my rescue, would not take anything as a thank you. He just went home and really bailed me out in a moment of crisis. And I'd like to do what is called the Broken Piston Award for John Takvorian out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. I thought it was such a wonderful gesture on Brian's part. It's a genius idea. And I thought, this has legs, because while we are awarding this to John, it's a tribute to everybody that comes in here. And we're all a family. And we all come to everybody's rescue, regardless of what club affiliation you have. So I'd like to read a little bit about what the Broken Piston Award is the Kentucky Cobra Club Broken Piston Award. The Broken Piston Award was created by the Kentucky Cobra Club to recognize good Samaritans who have come to the aid of a club member in a time of need. No matter how intrepid an owner may be, there are times when vintage machinery or happenstance leave one in a lurch. So a sense of humanity is the hallmark of the Broken Piston Award. It is reserved for people who go beyond the common standards of politeness and truly help someone in need. The awardee not need to belong to the Kentucky Cobra Club or even be a Cobra owner. An awardee is defined solely by their actions. And John, we thank you very much for all you have done. Thank you for allowing us to present this, and God willing, we'll be glad to do the same thing every year. And we're going to open this up to nominations from anybody that we're going to send out to the Ohio Cobra Club, so that they can also nominate people they feel are truly deserving of this. This was designed by one of our club members. It's not a broken piston, but it looks like it's broken. So John, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It is a tribute to the great fellowship that is generated by the London Cobra Show.
I'm going to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Just a little note here. Ironically, I went and ran the 8th mile with people in the car. Broke the car the first time and the second time. And I feel a little funny taking this award. I'm really thrilled by it. It's beautiful. But I need to share it with pretty much everybody in this room. You know, Henry, Ron, you all know who you are. Ended up fixing my car, ran a bunch of good runs after that. It's just paying it forward. That's all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you for that time.
At that, we have another award, but